Hello, friends. This is Suzette West, also known as the Meaningful Work Maven. Welcome to my channel. And tonight, I feel inspired to talk about when things go wrong. Ultimately, life is not perfect. So we often will make mistakes because it is human nature to make mistakes. What I'm learning through my own experience is that it's not what we do. It's not the mistake itself. It's what we do after we make mistakes. Do we beat ourselves up? Or do we see it as a learning opportunity and try to do better next time? So I found this really awesome book. I'm always looking at self-help books and personal development books and all kinds of courses. I've always been big on personal development and soul development. And what I am most passionate about is contributing towards the strengthening of the heart-mind connection. Because when we make mistakes and we drop into our hearts after we make a mistake, we're less inclined to beat ourselves up. We're more inclined to be compassionate with ourselves, to see the higher meaning of things, and to grow tremendously from the experience. So tonight I'd like to read a quick passage from a book called Soul Over Matter. And it's written by, and I hope I don't butcher this name, but talking about mistakes, but the book is by Dr. and Master Shigang Shah and Adam Markle. Hoping I said those names right. But anyway, forgive me if I didn't. So the section of the book is called What to Do When Things Go Wrong. And I'm just going to go to a little section of it that I really, really touched my heart. And it says, the greatest danger when things go wrong isn't the thing going wrong, but your judgment of yourself in the situation. You may judge yourself by feeling you caused the mistake, or perpetuated it, or weren't able to resolve it. You may judge yourself for your response to the hardship, but the cause, the response, the behavior, the resolution, they all matter less than how you treat yourself in their wake. That's the real potential wrongness of being wrong. This failure phobia we all experience is something we come by honestly. We all learned early that mistakes are quote unquote bad. You make a mistake on a test, you get a C instead of an A. You bring that C home, your parents are upset. You make a mistake in the office, you could lose your job, your career, your license. Our world punishes mistakes. That's the lesson you are taught. And it's why you take failure personally. Ultimately, though, that perception is also what slows you down. It stops you from trying something new, from taking risks, from doing things that are intuitive. That failure phobia stops you from taking a moment to listen to that inner voice, the whisper of your soul saying, Try something different. Yes, the programmed lessons of mistakes are powerful ones. Right now, you have many years of unconscious training telling you to ignore your instincts, your intuition, your soul. You have decades of programming telling you to invest your time and energy in just maintaining, in treading water, in protecting the status quo at all costs. But remember the cost of that. It's mediocrity, a ceaseless, mindless commitment to what is safe. Here's what you're telling yourself. Mistakes are bad. I made one, so I must be bad too. If I just never make another one, everything will be okay. But it won't, will it? It's time to realize that mistakes are the best thing that could ever happen to us, not in the trite sense of everything happens for a reason, but in the knowledge that everything happens for a reason, and that reason is there to serve. What to do when things go wrong? Forgive yourself, forgive others, and find the reason that that is there to serve. Find the reason that is there to serve. Find the nugget of wisdom, the lesson, and move forward to something even better. Don't avoid the mistakes because you're afraid you might be something less. Celebrate the mistakes because without them, you just might be. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Thomas A. Edison. So beating ourselves up does not serve. What I'd like to do right now is pull a card from the Crow Tarot created by MJ Cullinane, I believe. I'm just saying all kinds of wrong names tonight. I hope I said that right. And I am asking for wisdom to go with this piece about making mistakes, of being fearful of making mistakes, of sabotaging one's own greatness for fear of making mistakes. I'd like to ask Spirit to give me some truth and wisdom to share in response. It's very interesting. Ten of Wands. From a distance, the Ten of Wands didn't appear so big to the Crow. However, once committed to carrying the wands, the Crow quickly questioned whether or not it made the right choice, and if it is now unable to manage the task. Was the treasure worth the effort? This card is a message of caution. You may have taken on responsibilities that could prove to be a bigger burden than anticipated. The Ten of Wands also may reflect an inner strength that will assist you during a time of struggle. So, beating yourself up over mistakes is like this crow carrying the Ten of Wands. It's taking responsibility, more responsibility than what's really yours. You could be taking on other people and feeling responsible for how other people feel when it's not your responsibility about how other people feel. We can only be responsible for ourselves, our own state of being, our own way of being in the world, of feeling, and beating ourselves up for someone else's response is like carrying someone else's baggage, is like this bird carrying the Ten of Wands. We can only carry what's ours. After a while, when you continue carrying other people's stuff, the energy gets heavier and heavier. And ultimately, you get tired faster and faster. And without being connected to one's own heart and not being true to your heart, that makes it even worse. Because if you're carrying someone else's baggage at the expense of your own heart, you break your own heart. You betray yourself. And that is a sad state to be in. So my wish for you is that whatever mistakes you feel you've made, forgive yourself. Search your heart for the wisdom behind it and allow that wisdom to turn that into a rich experience to learn from, to grow from, to find the bliss that comes from self-connection. Because self-connection is the very first step to a life well lived and fully expressed and ultimately fulfilled. Thank you for listening and for sharing this time. Till next time.